Hello and welcome to Ditch Witch Diaries. We have moved into another era and we are now doing the just any herb that we feel like we want to do. And we've compiled a list and we're going through the list. And I have started with the A's. And so let me just get cooking, sharing my screen. We are looking at Acacia. And if you see behind there, that is an acacia tree. It's one of many ways that acacia is known, and we're going to talk about those ways.
Nice.
So acacia, there are so many different what's it called? Names for acacia. Like acacia is like its Latin name. So we're going to talk about the different types of acacia, but it all starts with acacia. So we'll talk about that. So this is what some acacia looks like. And a lot of them have these little balls here, like little
Mhm.
balls of light. See how cute they are?
The little pom-poms.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So the parts used, so if you're using it medicinally, most of the medicinal uses for acacia is the dried extract from the heartwood of the tree. So, but other uses, you can use the leaves, the flowers, and the sap. And we're not going to be covering the sap. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but I'm going to save that for another possible thing that we can talk. We could spend a whole other thing just talking about the sap of one species of mullein, of acacia. Okay. So other names, and there's a bunch to here too. Babel tree, black catechu, cape gum, passiflower, Egyptian thorn, gum Arabic. Oh, there it is.
There
Gum
it is.
Arabic. Hacha, kikal tree, kikwata, magunga, mimosa, but it's not the pink mimosa, so do not get confused. Makwata, mokala, thorn tree, shitats, shaunet, shanj, shondet, wattles, and whistling thorn. And
Mhm.
a lot of these names make an appearance in our talk today. So the plant information. So the name acacia comes from the Greek Acacia, meaning thorny Egyptian tree. So obviously there's a lot of Egypt stuff in here. So there's 1,084 species of shrub and trees in the subfamily Mimosidae. Mimosidae? Yeah. And 900 of them are native to Australia. And there used to be over 1,400, but they did in the 70s, they did some sort of like genetic tracing and they eliminated 400 because they realized that the certain trees came from, they didn't have the same roots as others. So they were grouping a lot more into the acacia family than really was. But still it encompasses a great variety of trees and shrubs. So they can be tall trees, like I said, or low growing shrubs, and many have sharp thorns among the leaves. The sap of some species, especially, and it's Acacia Senegal, that is where you get gum Arabic. And gum Arabic grows the acacia trees that give us the gum Arabic. So the Acacia Senegal, they grow best in East and West Africa, but the tropical region. So in parts of Africa, the acacia trees, they develop these dome-shaped canopies like the one we saw at the beginning. So let's just go back for a moment. Like this. See all the ones in the background, the dome shapes?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and giraffes often will graze upon them, but they have this defense mechanism. So if they're eaten, they can release a toxic tannin that can be lethal if it's consumed in large doses. So the giraffes are really smart. They only eat a few leaves and they only eat like every 10th tree. Like
Mhm.
because like of this signaling mechanism that it has. So, but there is like this study where these I think they were antelope they were confined in this area where there was acacia trees, and they ate a lot of acacia trees and they all died. So
Oh,
the tree releases this ethylene into the air, and it travels about 50 feet to warn other acacias and to produce that same tannin. So it's also a bee drawer with those big yellow puffs. How could it not be? They draw me. I'm drawn. So these acacias, they're very fast growing plants and shrubs, and they're often planted for rehabilitation of a landscape. And because of the tannins are so potent, it can be used even to tan leather. And then there are some trees. So many trees have DMT in small amounts, but some trees have a lot of it. So it's one of the ways that we can get DMT, which is a spirit drug or whatever. I guess if you take like a small bit of it, it only like the high only lasts like 10 seconds, but it feels like a much longer time. So you're supposed to like
yeah, DMT is supposed to be like gnarly.
exactly. I've never taken DMT, but
I'm not either.
more power to you if you have. So the lore, stories, and cultural import. So first we go to Egypt because we already mentioned Egypt. It's pretty important in Acacia stories. There's a lot. It's used for funeral wreaths. Okay, so the final place of Osiris when he was chopped into pieces was in an acacia. So he is known as the Lord of the Acacia. So, and also the Egyptian gods were said to be born under an acacia, specifically Acacia tortilis. It's an ingredient in a divine mortar. And it's associated with this double lion that we see who guards the underworld. It's also sacred to Isis. So after deceiving Set into sealing her own downfall, Isis ascends into the sacred branches of the acacia tree, protecting the rightful reign of her son Horus. So very important in Egyptian lore and to Egyptian gods. So take note if you worship under the Egyptian panoply of deities. It's also important, and some people said to the Hebrews, they're Jews, to the Jews. Okay, so often it said they plant a green acacia as a grave marker of a beloved friend. And then also, so this is early in the Bible as well as late in the Bible, so the whole Bible. But so the Hebrews or the Jews, this is also part of the lore, is that in the Bible it's called shittim, and it was the wood that was said to be used to construct the ark and the holy tabernacle and the holy of holies and the altar as well. So there's lore that when Moses was seeing God in the burning bush, it was an acacia bush that was burning. Other people have said other bushes, like I've heard somebody wanted to bicker with me about this, and I'm like, it's the Bible. Like, really?
It's a
I don't know.
story.
Maybe. Like, okay, you win. It's not an acacia.
Also, before you change the slide,
Yeah,
I love that the animals are like walking on the water.
me too. Me too. It's lovely.
It's very Jesus.
I know. And they're like the elephants. There's more than, well, they're getting drowned. They were the elephants that didn't make it into the ark. Sad. Very sad. So there's also, it may have been the wood of the cross and Christ's thorns because it's a thorny plant as well. So then we move into India where
Such a pretty picture.
it's a lovely picture where acacia conqueen is used by women to wash their heads. So I love that picture.
I love that picture, yeah.
In the Amazon, it's also important in the Amazon. So Acacia neopo you can combine it with lime and cocculus, which I have no idea what that is, for snuff.
Oh, like lime leaves, maybe, or something?
I don't know, I guess.
Hmm.
It's important also to the Freemasons. Okay, and I love this little image of our Freemason friends.
Both
So to the
Freemasons.
Freemasons, it's a sign of eternal life. So they have different degrees that you ascend to in Freemasonry. And near the end of the third degree lectures, it's taught that Acacia symbolizes eternal life and it represents the enduring and evergreen emblem of immortality that strengthens us.
Hmm. I just looked up cocculus, by the way. It's
What is
just it's a woody vine.
Oh, there you go. Oculus. So this, and I love this image too. I find him to be a highly attractive gentleman. They always create highly attractive people in there.
Very attractive people.
They're
Yeah.
always the cutest people that AI loves. So anyway, Acacia is very important to Buddhists and Hindus alike because, well, Buddhists are from the root of the branch of Hindus as well. So it's all from kind of the same back and forth there. And they considered acacia sacred and wore it as a protection. So, and oh, and Hindus often would put it in their turbans. That's why that picture is, because it was of its protective qualities. In Greece, acacia is also important. Our friend Dioscorides first named the tree acacia. So he was the first dude that said, this is acacia. And it was also often planted near the temples and shrines that were dedicated to Artemis. So it's also very, very important to Australia. Obviously, like 900 of the 1,000 or so species are native to Australia. And Acacia pycnantha, or golden wattle, that's the wattle part, is Australia's national tree and flower. In Arabia, it's also filled with importance there. And it's considered the tree of knowledge in Arabia. In the Philippines,
Ooh, I like that picture too.
I know, that's a great picture. I was surprised that they even made it for me. My gosh, they're so particular about making some sort of things. But okay, so ghosts called the Capre, they're said to live in acacia trees. And so everybody says, don't walk under the acacia trees because the Capre will get you. Or snatch you away. So be careful in the Philippines. So now let's go on to the correspondences associated with acacia. So the element is fire or air. And the planet I've heard is Sun or Pluto. And I think definitely like both could be at play here. There were some of both, like the underworld associated with Pluto. There was a lot of interesting stuff there. The astrological sign, and I could only find one for gum Arabic, and it was Leo. So maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe not. And so when I looked for chakras, it was really associated with all chakras and balancing the chakras. And people often said that what you would want to do is make a box, kind of like the Ark or this, like the Ark of the Covenant or like in the tabernacle. Use it to make a chakra box to keep your chakra tools or chakra stones in it, or a wood tray that you use for chakra work.
Nice.
The Sabbat is Ostara. The tarot card is the Sun. And crystals and stones associated are sunstone, carnelian, citrine, fire opal, as well as clear quartz.
Very sunny stones.
Exactly. Well, you can see those yellow things with like bright yellow flowers like that are often associated with the sun. So
yeah.
So Al-Uza is a goddess associated, and Artemis Astarte, and I even looked up Al Uza, and now I can't remember, so I'm gonna look it up again. I can't believe I can't remember. How lame. I know it. Okay, Al Uza was one of the three chief goddesses of Arabian religion, like prior to, and I just in pre-Islamic times. And she was worshipped by the pre-Islamic Arabs, and she is mentioned in the Quran as being one of the goddesses who people worshipped. So there you go. Artemis, Astarte, Diana, Ishtar, Isis, Nephthys, and Nut.
You know what's funny is I you know that chant that's like Isis Astarte Diana.
Yeah.
I've had that song stuck in my or that chant stuck in my head for like a week, and I haven't listened to it in a while. And so I stuck in my head, but it's funny that like three of those goddesses are like listed here.
I know, Acacia. It's an
Yeah.
Acacia. We should rename it the Acacia chant.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, the magic. It's used for attraction. So it attracts positive energy. A lot of sunny things do. Positive energy, you can burn it to attract and please all the good spirits. It attracts joy as well. It's good for purification, especially for your altar.
Hmm.
And divination, it increases psychic powers. So for visions, burn it on your altar, and to increase like this divinatory vision thing, you can add frankincense and myrrh as well, and it will for visions. It's all over. It's used for meditation and relaxation. I saw that over and over and over again. So also protection. You can put it over your doorway to keep out all evil.
Evil.
And you bring in the good spirits and keep out the evil. So it's also for regeneration and resurrection, initiation as well, and friendship. Again, a lot of these yellow flowered plants are friendshipy.
Yeah. Happy,
Oh,
sunny.
yes, but also death. So like as far as like guarding the underworld, especially in the Egyptian panoply. So to contact the dead, you can dip the leaves of acacia in holy water and sprinkle your altar with it, or you can burn acacia as an incense.
Hmm.
I also saw that it was good to use as like a morning witchy ritual. If you can find roasted wattle seed, you can add it to your coffee or tea in the morning. And its symbolic meanings were chaste love, concealed love, elegance, endurance of the soul, friendship, and also chaos and change, which is interesting. So now the medical disclaimer. We are not doctors. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. We are not providing medical advice. Okay? You shouldn't use anything we say to diagnose anything or treat anything. And you know what? If you have issues that are rough, and we talk about rough issues all the time, you should really go see a doctor. Okay?
Yeah.
A
We
licensed
we
physician.
love working with herbs, but we also believe in doctors.
We do. So it's the acacia is mostly an astringent and an antiseptic. You can use it for gut issues, for diarrhea and dysentery and mucus colitis because it's an astringent. So it's going to dry you up, okay? It's also good for women's issues. So you can use it in a douche for leukorrhea. So it kind of combines both these things, astringent and antiseptic. It's also for respiratory purposes. You can use it for a cough or a sore throat, I assume, because again, it's going to dry up the mucus in your throat. Urinary issues, eyes. So the Paiute, and I think I spelled that wrong. Maybe, maybe not. The Paiute used the seeds for eye inflammation due to dust. Okay. I did. I missed an I in there. So you put, this is kind of rough though. I don't know if I do this, folks. This is This takes a lot of commitment. Okay, you're supposed to take the seeds and put them under your eyelids and go to sleep. And then the seeds, they form a gel and they attract all the trapped dust. And then in the morning, you can scoop it out, and then all the dust is supposed to come with it.
I don't know if I could sleep with a seed under my eyelid.
I don't know either. That seems like really hard to do,
Yeah.
but you know what? I heard it, so I put it in here for you to
Yeah.
enjoy it. It's also used for the skin, so to cleanse and clear issues of the skin. And again, antiseptic and astringent. What good qualities. For wounds and to heal burns. And that's it. Those where my sources are from. So,
Very nice.
and also as you look, San Diego Zoo has acacia there, so enjoy.
Oh, interesting.
I know, huh?
Hmm.
Okay. So interesting little stuff about acacia. And we are just going to continue on with our picking of fun, like plants and herbs that we like. And I will probably, unless I get moved to do something else, just go down and click down because why not? Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you at the next Ditch Witch Diaries.